Is it turned on now? Yeah. Oh, hi, everybody. We were just waiting for the check to clear so we could get power for the show. I don't know if we'll be able to do the full show tonight. We're paying in cash. Anyway, the thing was, before you know, the power started up, I was talking to Chunky, the warm-up man, and he... I know, I mean, really. But anyway, it's, you know, he's wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt, you know, the big shirts. Now, the only time and the reason why I was mentioning it, the only time I wear the Tommy Bahama shirts is when I'm feeling a little bit fat. I'm not saying listen, I possess them, and what I do, it's a big shirt. It's a big shirt, and in my head, I think, if I drape it, you won't know. If I drape it, you won't know. But actually, the opposite is true. What you should do is wear snug things, and then people go, oh, look at him trying to get into that. But it's a little bit, I sometimes think when you wear a big shirt like that, and I don't mean you, I mean me, right? I mean, or anyone else who wears a big shirt a lot. I just think that when it's kind of like when you eat from the buffet at a strip club. In the sense that, well, because when you eat from the buffet at the strip club, you've kind of given up. Right? You have. You have given up on food and the prospect of sex. You've given up on both. You know the food's going to be crap, and you know you're not going to look good eating it, but you don't care. And that's, sometimes I feel like that when I wear a big shirt. So all I'm saying is, you know, just wear something a little bit more form-fitting. Although you can't encourage employees to wear form-fitting outfits, because guess what time of year it is? It's sexual harassment catch-up video time. Every year, I have to watch the sexual harassment video and sit and listen to a lawyer tell me how to behave honorably. Advice on how to treat other human beings from a lawyer. Anyway, so I won't be telling anyone how to dress, and I won't be commenting on anyone's great-looking ass. But it is nice. We'll be right back.
The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, sponsored by the 2011 Ford Fiesta. It's a pretty big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Ferguson.
Look, just sit down, and I know you're only doing it to try and keep warm, because it's freezing in here today. It is so cold in here. I mean, I know it's California and everybody in the East Coast is freezing, but it's very cold inside here. I mean, look at my nipples. Come on! Perhaps you were looking anyway. Perhaps it's the only reason you watched the show. And perhaps that's okay with me. It's a great day for America, everybody, isn't it? Actually is. It's It's President's Day today. Hurrah! Or is it huzzah? Happy President's Day, everyone. We got a graphic? We must have, surely. No. All right, fair enough. No graphic? I would have sworn you said you were going to give me a graphic. Oh! That's it. Well, that was worth waiting for, wasn't it? Like, when I say, do we have a graphic, is that when you start making the graphic? Anyway, President's Day, of course, is when we celebrate American history by enjoying a great deal on mattresses. I think it was President Kennedy who said, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do to get 20% off a pillow top. First time I've ever tried a JFK, not that... Oh, come on. It wasn't that bad. I admit it sounded a little bit like a robot, but it's a start. Anyway, personally, I think it's great that we commemorate every person who's ever done this country proud by serving in the Oval Office, except you, Martin Van Buren. You're dead to me, Van Buren. Well, you're dead to everyone because you died in 1862, but you know what you did. Anyway, I'm glad we have a day for the presidents, but shouldn't we also have a day that honours Congress? You know, when the Senate and the House can kick back and not worry about getting anything done? Oh, wait. Anyway, President's Day actually started in the 1950s because Washington's birthday and Lincoln's birthday was so close together, they just rolled them into one day of celebration. My parents did the same with my birthday and Christmas, which I never really understood because my birthday is in May. Close enough, you wee bastard. Ah, 2 presents a year. Oh, you'll probably want to go and live in America, you wee poof. And I did. A lot of people have President's Day off work, mostly people who work for the government, you know, postal workers, investment bankers. Oh, commentary.
Bad boy.
Not really. Anyway, I'm working, of course, because I'm an immigrant. I kind of have to, really. It's the law. And it's also fitting that I have to work on President's Day because I personally cannot be elected president. What? Why not, Craig? I'll tell you, imaginary voice left over from years of drug abuse. I cannot because... You heard it too! I can't because I'm ineligible, which is a fancy legal term that basically says the law ain't going to let me, you know, get her done. Now, because technically there are 4 requirements to become a president. You've got to be born in the US, you've got to be older than 35, you have to live here for 14 consecutive years, and you have to have $18 gazillion for attack ads on the other candidates. Even though I am an American citizen now, only native-born citizens can be elected president. And personally, I don't think that's very fair. I bet someday, though, there'll be a naturalized American who's so loved and so respected by his fellow citizens that they'll change this unfair law, and that man's name will be not me. I refer you to the years of drug abuse earlier, and the time I walked into a Costco without pants. And I left with a stolen necklace. No, it wasn't stolen. It was given to me for services rendered. And it wasn't on my neck. That's right. I'm a Costco necklace prostitute.
I think I'm in love.
Not the first time I've heard that. To tell you the truth, though, I don't think I'd even want to be president. I mean, sure, the leader of the free world part sounds cool, but other than that, it's a pretty crappy job. Half of the country hates your guts and wishes you didn't get the job, and the other half is disappointed in you. And I know exactly how that feels. Really, I do. 5 years ago, I came here and I did a whole monologue about, it was the President's Day about 5 years ago, I did a whole monologue about William Howard Taft, you know, the fat president. Yes, it met that kind of reaction then as well. Everybody was like, What are you talking about? Who's that? I mean, it really sucked. I mean, it didn't suck like this is sucking. It sucked in a way, it really sucked. I mean, we were doing jokes like Taft is so fat there was a Secret Service detail assigned to each of his butt cheeks. Ah, he was so fat he could take the lint from his belly button and knit an American flag. Taft was so fat before he was elected to the Oval Office, it was actually square. But it's kind of confused me that you laughed at that because that's not funny. Like much of what you'll see this evening, including what I'm doing now. Craig, are you heckling yourself? Yes. That's a way to save time, isn't it? Heckle yourself and be riddled with self-doubt before anyone on the internet points out what a douche you are. I like it. I'm ahead of the curve.
Break time?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, time for commercials.
Let's tickle. Let's tickle.
No! No, just because you say let's tickle in a sort of breathy voice doesn't mean I'm going to let you tickle me. Do you have did your arm move enough to tickle me?
I'm way baked. Let's tickle.
No, no. I don't.
Let's tickle.
No, I'm not tickling. All right, let's tickle.
Balls.
Yeah, no, let's tickle. Tickling it all. Wait. No, wait. Wouldn't any normal television show have gone to a commercial break then? Well, why am I still here?
Ha, fun time with Big Head Man.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. My first guest tonight is a great American journalist, but he was born in Germany, so no danger of him becoming president. He's the host of the Situation Room with Wolf Blitzer. That's a clue to who it is. The answer's in there if you think about it. Who is it, Jaw Behar? No! It's the voice of CNN. Well, not the voice of CNN, I guess, because that's the guy with CNN. That's James L. Jones. Is just the voice of CNN. This is the reporter of CNN that isn't Anderson Cooper, but is in fact Wolf Blitzer, everybody! Wolf, it's very nice to see you.
Thank
you look
you.
great, the usual stuff. Now, I want to get straight to the Middle East, because I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on over here. It's Gaddafi is out? Is he gone?
Not yet.
All right,
But he could be pretty soon.
Well, the Brits are saying that he's out of Libya.
They're saying there was a report that he was heading to Venezuela. He came on state TV on Libya late tonight,
Right.
and he said, I'm not in Paris, I'm not in France, I'm not in Venezuela, I'm here. And then he said something about with the dogs or something. I didn't really understand what he was talking about.
So what you're saying is that Gaddafi has now started a late-night TV show in
Yeah.
Libya? In a desperate attempt to cling to power, he's doing a show like this?
It's a very short, it was about 40 seconds.
Right.
It's not a long TV show. 40 seconds.
Well, now, doesn't prove he's there, though, does it?
No, it just shows that they had a clip of him walking out of a car on Libyan state-run TV saying, I'm here.
He's out of there, though, right? He's going to be gone.
You know,
think, right?
it looks like the eastern part of Libya already gone.
Right.
Benghazi, the second largest city, Tripoli, the capital. You know, he's got troops, and they're firing into this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
They're killing a lot of people. people.
Yeah,
right now. These are folks that are peacefully demonstrating. He's sending helicopter gunships in, and he's killing a bunch.
This is a monster, this guy. I mean, he was behind the Lockerbie Flight 93, right?
Yeah,
I mean, was it 103? It was 103.
Yeah, Pan Am 103.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was. This is a terrible human being.
Yeah, and he's been there for 41 years.
Now, all this instability, it started, I guess, with Tunisia, right?
Right. Started in Tunisia,
right.
Went to Egypt, now spreading to Bahrain,
right.
all sorts of other countries, and Libya. It looks like Gaddafi might. You know, he might survive this, but I'm guessing he's toast.
Now, what does this actually mean for the world? Does anybody know yet? Is it the Berlin Wall coming down?
It means that the whole Middle East, North Africa, the Middle East, the whole world is really dramatically changing. I mean,
right.
it's unbelievable. The social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter, they are really exploding. All the satellite TV channels, the cable channels, people are getting their message out. There are a lot of young people, 60, 70% of the people in a lot of these countries, in these Arab countries, are under the age of 35 or whatever. Many of them go to college,
right.
They get a skill, they can't get a job, they're frustrated, they're angry. They look at some of the, the stuff that the leaders are doing, and they're not happy. They're protesting.
Well, what do they want, though? I mean, do they want? Because a lot of these.
They want freedom. That's
right.
That's a simple thing. They see us, what we have,
right.
They want that as well. It's not that complicated.
But it didn't, when the revolution started in what's now Iran.
Yeah, that was in 2009.
Right.
Didn't work out that well.
Right, but the earlier one, when the Shah was in, and
right.
then there was a popular uprising which was not a fundamentalist Muslim uprising,
right.
but was in fact
in 1979.
Right.
And there were great hopes. There were high aspirations that what was happening then in Iran when the Shah went down,
right.
That they would lead to a new Iran, freedom and all that. Didn't exactly work out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is there a danger of this happening
There
here?
certainly is a danger of that. No one knows what the outcome is going to be. My guess is in Egypt, the outcome will be positive. That's
right.
my guess, because the people, there are 80 million people. This is the largest of all of the Arab countries, and they really, I think, are struggling to do the right thing. So my guess in Egypt is it's going to turn out well. It's not going to be easy. It's
right.
a poor country. They have a lot, a lot of needs. But my sense is that Egypt will turn out well. Tunisia, I think, will turn out well, but who knows? Bahrain, we'll see what happens there. Yemen.
I've been there at Bahrain. Have you been there?
I've been there. It's the home of the United States Navy's 5th Fleet in the Persian Gulf.
That's the reason I was there. I was there in a USO thing, and I also like a sailor. But the idea of Bahrain, as far as I could make out, was it kind of looked like Vegas for Saudi.
Yeah.
Like all the Saudi guys would come over and get drunk and do their thing, and then
they have a lot more freedom in Bahrain to
right.
do that kind of stuff. Or in the United Arab Emirates, in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, you've probably been there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Saudis, which is kind of like where I think all this is headed, because that's where the real money is. That's where the holy of holy sites are, right, for the Muslims, and all the oil is pretty much in Saudi, right? Saudi and Libya.
Libya's got a lot of oil,
right.
and we'll see what happens. But the price of oil here, this will impact the whole world, especially
right.
Americans who are dependent on a lot of that Middle Eastern oil. So it's going to have a dramatic impact. But I don't know. I don't know what the outcome is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
I do suspect, though, that all the leaders of those countries right now are very nervous.
Yeah, I bet. And it means that the Prius drivers in America are going to be even more smug than they are now.
They will be.
Which I don't know. I didn't think that would be possible. Well, if you're not biting here, do you drive a Prius? You drive a Prius, don't you?
No, but that's a great car. It is
a great car. Do you work? Do they advertise in CBS?
No.
What's that coming to go? It's a great car. It really is. CBS cars.
I was waiting for the orchestra. Where is the orchestra?
There's no orchestra.
There's no orchestra?
No, there's no orchestra. We got a horse that runs out, but I'm talking to you about the Middle East. I feel it's inappropriate to go, what's going on in Saudi? Oh, who's that? No, I'm kind of interested in the Saudi part of this, though, because there's nothing coming out of there, no noise at all,
right.
and that's the richest and most powerful of all these countries.
Right. And it's a difference. Look, all of these countries are different. You can't generalize and say that Tunisia is Egypt, and Egypt is Bahrain, and Bahrain is Libya, and Yemen, and Oman. All these countries have different histories, different cultures, and things are going to be different. I'm curious to see how it affects Iran, for example, or Syria, for that that matter, it's going to have a ripple effect all over that region.
Now, I heard something about the Egyptians were going to allow the Iranian Navy to go through the Suez Canal and head to the
It's
Israeli
still unclear.
coast.
I don't think they've gone up there yet,
Yeah.
but they're trying. The Iranians are sending a warship. They want to send a warship through the Suez Canal into the Mediterranean. They haven't done that since 1979.
You know,
So
if I was an Iranian sailor, I'd be like, let's stay here. Because you know the Israelis aren't going to sit still for that.
They won't be happy because what they're afraid of is that they'll take weapons into Lebanon and give them to Hezbollah, and that could endanger it. So, you know, it's a problem.
Yeah, no, it sure is.
I don't know what the Egyptian military is now in charge.
Yeah.
Mubarak is, you know, he's retired.
Yeah, no,
he's on, you know, someplace.
He's retired.
Yeah.
What's the situation with it? We heard of these hateful attacks on journalists.
It's terrible.
Is it still going on?
You know, it's not going on in Egypt, but it was awful what was going on.
Why,
I mean,
why were they attacking journalists? Were these pro-Mubarak?
Yeah, these were thugs who thought that the journalists, you know, they were told these are traitors or these are instigators, they're, you know, spies or whatever. So they went after him. Our own Anderson Cooper, you know, he got beaten up pretty
Lara
badly.
Logan as well.
And Lara Logan got, you know.
There was a terrifying attack.
Yeah, it was really bad.
But the idea, though, are they correct in their self-interest? Are the journalists working against these dictatorships?
No, the journalists are trying to report the news on what's going on. And that's what we do all the time. We report the news. And sometimes, you know, those sources, those people don't like what we're reporting if we're reporting factually accurate information. And we were reporting the news, but they didn't like the way we were reporting it, so they went out there. And I think it was pretty well organized that, you know, go out there and beat up these journalists, these Western journalists. Yeah. And it's pretty awful.
It is pretty awful. We have to take a break. When we come back, I'd like to talk to you. I know you've just been in North Korea. Let's talk about the whole bag of fun that's going on over there as well. All right, we'll be right back with Will Blitzer. Will Blitzer, we're going to talk about North Korea now, that other hotbed of stability.
Yeah.
You were there recently.
I was there in December, 6 days. The then governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, was invited by the North Koreans to come in with a very small delegation because it was an incredibly tense time on the Korean peninsula.
Right.
The South Koreans had been attacked by North Koreans in this island. They killed a whole bunch of people. They blew up a South Korean warship, killing about 40 sailors, South Korean sailors. And the South Koreans were saying, we're going to have our own war games, our exercises. The North Koreans said, if you do that, there will be catastrophic consequences. Now remember, this is the Korean Peninsula. 1 million North Korean troops north of the DMZ, the demilitarized zone. Almost 1 million South Korean troops just south of the DMZ, with 30,000 American soldiers along the border, along the DMZ.
Why are we always there? You know?
Since 1953 in the armistice, the United States has had a significant military presence in the Korean Peninsula. And you know, it's arguably the most dangerous spot on Earth to this day.
Is that because of the supposed nuclear capabilities of the North Koreans?
Look, even without the nuclear capabilities of the North Koreans, they have so many missiles and howitzers and shells and tanks. If they were to start just with their conventional weaponry shelling South Korea, and remember Seoul, the capital, which has about 15 million people, it's only about 30 or 40 miles south of the DMZ. I mean, they would level, you know, hundreds of thousands of casualties within days, God forbid, if that were to happen. So it's a really awful situation.
How likely is it that could be diffused? What does Kim Jong-il want?
It's going to take an enormous amount of work to deal with it. And Richardson, I thought he did a very good job. You know, and he met with all the top leaders, not with Kim Jong-il, but with the chief military guy, the chief foreign ministry guy, the vice president. He met with all of them. And I think he did play a role in easing that crisis, because it was at one point I was inside North Korea. We flew into Pyongyang, tiny little airport, and it looked like when the North Koreans were going to respond to the South Korean live fire exercises, they would immediately shut down that little airport, and we'd be stuck in North Korea. And you know, it's not a great place to be stuck.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're better.
I wanted to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So, in your opinion, then, of all of these places, is that what you think is is the one that's likely to go off first?
I don't know if it's going to go. I hope it doesn't go off, but I think it's very, very dangerous. It's still very dangerous because we don't really have a good appreciation of what the North Koreans want. I mean, I heard all of their talking points, their propaganda.
What do they want?
They say they don't want to be occupied by foreigners as they were, before World War II, leading up to World War II, by the Japanese. They say we remember when the Japanese were here, they stole our natural resources, they killed our men, and they raped our women. And
the Japanese aren't making any.
No, but they still hate the Japanese.
Yeah, but that's like being mad at a guy who's moved to another town. It's
but if you watch North Korean TV, that's what they're still showing, the heroic opera and Kim Il-sung liberating the country. And if we're weak, this is what will happen. We have to be strong, have a powerful military, nuclear capability, and as a result, we'll have our independence.
And what about China's position? Because it's huge. What's China's position on the North Korean situation?
I think China wants to make sure there's no war,
right?
Because that would be a huge loss for them as well. I'm not exactly sure what the Chinese want, but I think to a certain degree they like a little tension. Not too much tension, just a little bit to keep the U.S. sort of preoccupied,
right.
With the Korean Peninsula issue. But I think the Chinese are getting smart enough, and they're making a ton of money right now. They would like to see it calm down.
Now, is they
may have had a positive role in addition to Richardson. Behind the scenes, I think the Chinese calmed down the North Koreans.
Are you telling me that the Chinese may be as powerful as the governor of Arizona? Because frankly, I don't know if I want to live in a world like that.
Richardson was the governor of New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes it.
Yeah, not as powerful as the governor of New Mexico.
No one was as powerful as the governor of Arizona.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the social media and the rise of, the cell phone reporting and, the stuff that's coming out from sources there. I mean, I was watching CNN the other day. I normally watch the CBS News, but I was watching CNN the other day. And they were saying, if you have information and you send it to us, get it to us, and we'll get. I mean, I saw Anderson Cooper talking to a guy who was just phoning in.
Right.
From Libya.
I mean, it's a whole new world. As someone pointed out the other day, when the Soviet Union collapsed, ending 74 years of communism in the late 80s, leading up to the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, what was really a powerful instrument that got the people in Central and Eastern Europe, riled up and really helped generate the opposition to that communist empire was the fax machine.
Right.
Remember those days when they used to
remember the
copy stuff and
waxy
fax?
Paper, yeah.
And now, we don't even use fax machines basically anymore. Everybody's on, sending.
Still use them with CBS, actually. Yeah. But CBS doesn't know about the fall of the Soviet Union either. So, what? But is that all about the technology? For example, would the idea that someone like Stalin couldn't exist now just because of the lines of communication are so easy between places?
It's going to be hard for these regimes to keep their people in the dark, knowing what's going on with the internet and all the social media sites and satellite TV. It's not going to be easy for them to stay in power. It's going to be, but it could be brutal. I mean, and there could be a lot of dead people in the struggle for freedom.
Well, usually when something like this happens,
it could be awful in some of these countries. Fortunately, in Egypt, what was really impressive is that the Egyptian military, by and large, refused to take orders, if in fact they got any orders, to kill fellow Egyptians.
Right.
I'm not sure in Libya, certain elements of the Libyan military will say, you know what? If we're ordered to kill fellow Libyans, we'll kill fellow Libyans.
Isn't there a lot of tribal conflict within that as well?
There's a lot of tribal conflict in there, and there's a long history. And so I'm really worried about what's happening in Libya. And the most frustrating thing to me is that, let's say they start really killing a lot of people in Libya. So what should the world do? Does the United Nations, the United States, Europe, should we just wait and watch and see a lot of these people slaughtered? Is there anything we could really do to stop that?
Is there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
No, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know. I barely know how to get through this. In any given
I'm worried about that.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I mean, I was with Bill Clinton in 1998. I was the White House correspondent for CNN, and he went to Rwanda. And he acknowledged the biggest regret of his presidency was that he knew a couple of years earlier that there was a civil war, there was slaughter going on, nearly 1 million Rwandans and Burundis were killed. He got that report in the Oval Office, and he didn't do anything. He didn't really respond, and a lot of people died. And so I'm worried about what's happening in some of these countries right now. And I don't know what the United States or the United Nations or the European Union or, the Arab world, what they can do about it. But if some of these worst case scenarios unfold, it'll be a disaster.
Well, God bless the men and women that keep going in and reporting on it,
Yeah,
and keeping us
exactly.
up to date on it. Good luck to you and your future endeavours. Thanks for coming.
And thank you.
Back in.
And
Wolf
thanks for
Blitzer,
discussing
everybody.
it.
Thanks, Wolf.
Yeah.
All right, Wolf Blitzer. Here's a question, people that want their own crappy late-night show on TV. What do you do when you've just had a very long and serious conversation about the Middle East, and your next guest is a lovely woman who's coming on to talk about her show, Shedding for the Wedding? Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult situation. It is. I mean, but I'm sure we're up to it here because we're nothing if not stupid. Not my guess. Anyway, she's got a new show, Shedding for the Wedding, which is Wednesdays on the CW. There's still the CW? That's adorable. Is there still NBC? NBC too? Oh. Please welcome the lovely Sara Rue, everybody. Sara Rue.
Oh, dear.
Hello, Sara Rue.
Hi.
I'm sorry that we were... Wow, your legs look awesome.
Oh, thanks. Last time I was here, you were staring at my boobs.
Well, nice we've changed it around
Yeah,
a little bit.
it's good. So, Wolf Blitzer's funny, huh?
Yeah. Well, the whole situation is just hilarious.
Hilarious.
Hey, no, I was going to ask you about shedding for the wedding. Is this how
Okay.
to lose hair for a wedding? Is that what it
It's
is?
exactly what it's about.
Really?
No, it's 9 couples losing weight and planning their weddings at the same time.
You look great. Have
Thank
you.
you.
Have you lost... You were
Yeah,
Jenny Craig
I'm the
or-
Jenny Craig, one of the Jenny Craig spokespeople. I was last year. I was sort of on my weight loss journey, and now I'm just on maintenance, which
Oh,
is
nice.
much more fun, by the way.
What weight loss journey did you take? You look great.
I took one where I weighed more, and then I weighed less.
Oh, that's the opposite.
So it's like that journey.
That's the opposite
there.
of the one I'm on right now. Which is a lot of fun.
I was on that one first.
It's so hard. It really
is hard. It is
and
hard.
are you getting married as well? Is it?
I am. I'm
No
engaged
way.
to be married. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right on.
Thank
Right,
you.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Who is the a man?
A man.
Okay.
A man.
Yeah.
A manly man.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
He's very attractive, and I'm lucky.
Yeah,
That's all I've got to say.
So is he.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Where did you meet him?
We met at a party playing beer pong.
I see.
Yeah. And I'm not good at beer pong, so he had to drive me home. And, then that was that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
I
gonna-
mean, not, oh, come on.
Ah, come
It wasn't like that.
on. It was like that.
No.
It's okay. You're marrying him, so it's all right.
That happened the next night. Come
Really?
on. I'm classy like that,
No,
yeah.
come on. Do you still play beer pong with him?
Yeah, we're going to have beer pong at our wedding.
That's adorable.
Isn't it? Charming and classy.
I actually don't really know what that is because when I was drinking, that wasn't a game.
Oh, right.
Game.
Well, you were
Wasn't it
serious
like,
about
oh, let's do something and then drink. It's like, let's just ooh la la. Right.
Let's just drink.
Yeah. Like, ooh, oh,
Right.
you do this and then I'll drink something. How about you shut Tootsie Fruits up and get me that drink? That's what drinking is. It is. That's what drinking is. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, audience, for endorsing my alcoholic lunacy.
Wow, Wolf Blitzer got you all riled up. I love it here
no,
tonight.
No, it's all right. So how do these people lose weight for the weddings then? Starve themselves?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
and
really?
working out. No, they're on a very sort of healthy nutritional plan, and it's a lot of working out. It's kind of like Biggest Loser meets all those wedding planning shows and rolled into one, and I host it.
Do you do the bridezilla thing? Are you getting ready for your own wedding? Are you gonna-
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm really not a bridezilla. I'm really not. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really
I don't
not.
know. You got red hair right there. You got a problem.
Really? How
Oh,
so?
red-haired women, come on. I've been around. I've met a couple of
Yeah.
red-haired women in my life.
Yeah, we're sassy.
Yeah, all right. Sassy's one way to put it, yeah. You know, a little bit, you know, well, not necessarily, it's nothing to do with red hair, but, you know, are you a very nitpicky person? Do you want a big, detailed ceremony?
You know, no, I am exactly the opposite.
Oh,
In
okay.
fact, so much so that, like, I think my wedding planner is getting a little bit annoyed with me. She's like, you've got to make some decisions. Because, like, it's just not something I fantasized about as, like, a little girl. I wasn't one of those people that just thought, oh, and on my wedding day, I'll have this and this and this. Like, I don't care. I just want to have fun and be married and play some beer pong. It's just that simple.
Then let me ask you why you have a wedding planner.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I got married, admittedly, for the third time, but I
Right.
got married a couple of years ago, and we didn't have a wedding planner.
What, did you do it all yourself? You did it, right?
Well-
Picked everything out and planned.
Well, actually, what happened is when we turned up, there was a big snowstorm, and we got stuck in the farm that we were at, so it was just whoever was there. And the Justice of the Peace had snow tires, because if the Justice of the Peace didn't have snow tires, I'd still be a single man. Oh yeah. But she had snow tires and made it through, and that was it. And that's what we did. And
Really?
whatever we had to eat for the wedding feast was what was in the house.
Okay, well, I'll tell you the truth.
Right.
The truth is, this is my second marriage.
That's all right.
And-
You'll catch up.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry.
Come on.
Right. No, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I
told you
didn't
what
mean
a
that.
hard time I'm
no.
having planning this wedding.
No.
Please, this has to be the last one.
Right.
But I really want to do it right. You know, like I just sort of have this feeling that I want to do sort of traditional for us, which means not very traditional probably for the rest of the country. But for me, I just wanted it to be like a real wedding this time.
Right.
I wanted it to feel, you know, like the real deal.
Right.
I wanted to stand up in front of my friends and my family.
Are
and-
you a religious person? Will it be in a church?
God, no.
Hey,
no.
hey.
Oh,
You don't say, are you a religious person? Oh, God, no. I mean,
why?
doesn't that seem slightly ironic to you?
Oh.
It just seemed fair to ask. I mean,
I
you
don't
said
know.
like religion was somehow bad, and of course we know that's not true, CBS.
Well, you've been saying all night. I thought I could make it.
Why? It was so classy right up till then.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
Wow, that's nice. Well, I'm delighted for you and your young gentleman. What does he do? Does he have a job?
He does have a job.
No way!
Yeah.
Score! Uh-huh.
He has his own business. He helps kids get into college. He's an educational consultant.
He's a teacher?
Well, he does ACT, SAT. He helps them write their essays. He helps the parents with applications. He's like a one-stop shop for getting your kid into college.
That's fantastic.
It
man.
is. He's
what
very
time
smart.
does he start? Well, I got a 9.5-year-old. Is that too early?
Call us in like 3-4 years.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, no, that'd be a good idea. Although I don't know if are you going to have kids?
Yeah, we'd like. I mean, we hope so. You know, if not, if it doesn't work out, we'll you know, naturally we'll adopt or
Right,
whatever.
okay, yeah, will
Or
you go-
steal. You know, which happens. God.
What happened to you?
Oh, I'm so embarrassing to you.
You-
Jeez.
Well, yeah, a little bit. You don't go around stealing kids just because you. Yeah, that's not right.
All right.
You'll have Nancy Grace in here.
That's just what you need.
Yeah, that's a nice dress. Did you make that?
Thank you. Yeah, bedazzled myself.
No.
No.
Did you really?
No.
I tell you, it's awesome.
Thank you.
What, was that bad? Is it wrong of me to say that?
No, I mean, just
It's
who
nice.
makes their, what year are you living in where people are making their own dresses and coming on your show?
You know, I'm kind of living in the early 1950s, actually, now that you ask. Where are you getting married? Just a state, just a general state.
California.
California.
We are getting
nice.
married here. We're going to have the ocean as our backdrop to our
Well,
wedding.
now we know where it's going to be.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be the beach.
Close to the beach, yes.
With the,
Overlooking the beach.
a cliff.
Maybe.
On a cliff.
Maybe on a cliff.
Don't get married on a bluff.
Why?
Because bluff and vows, it's not a good mix. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know,
Good
then
to
you
know.
can say, did you really mean it at the time? No, I was bluffing.
Oh.
I'm going to miss you being single. Do we have a clip of the show? We've got a clip of the show, so we
Okay.
have to go, but we'll play a clip of the show if you want.
Okay, that'd be good. I think you guys are going to like it. And CW still exists, and it's thriving, actually. Just so you know.
I just got, you know, a coat hanger on top of my TV, and I get CBS. That's it. Sara Rue, everybody, we were aiming.
Welcome to your first challenge. Now, as you all know, this week has all been about the dress.
Well, I have a surprise for you all. The couple that wins tonight's challenge will win their dream wedding gown and your fantasy tuxedo, which is yours to keep, whether you win your dream wedding or not.
If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and would like to attend a taping of The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, please call 323-570-0059 or visit oneiota.com.
What did we learn on the show today?